guys, CJ here, and welcome to episode, 4 of our Forge modding tutorials. In this episode, we're going to be adding a block. Now this is going to require a little bit of extension on this item code right here, the creation of a new class, and a few new packages in the resources folder, so let's begin. First things first, above this item, we're going to create a public static list. And this is going to, why not, be final. We won't need to be changing that. This list is going to hold items, and we're going to call this items, and we're going to create this as a new array list. Like that. Import this from java.util. There we go. So the way this is going to work is when you register an item, it puts it into this list, and then instead of calling register render on every item we have, we're just going to loop through this list and call it on there. So let's go ahead and do that. We're just going to say for each item, and items. I call register render of item. And then down here, we're going to want to make sure to add items, or we're going to want to make sure to add our item to items, like that. Now if we were to run this, it is completely the same, and it isn't going to be any different. And the next thing we're going to want to do is change this method right here, the register item method, to public, because we're going to want to access that from our blocks. Because now, since Forge 1.8, you have to register the item for each block, rather than it being done for you. So now that we've done that, we're going to create a new package. I'm going to call it block. And in here, we're going to do the standard underscore blocks. And we're going to have the public static final void common pre-init, like so. And then we're going to have our private, how did we do it in items? I've already forgotten. It's a private. Alright, so private static final block register block. This is going to take a block, and a string name. Now before we do anything else, we're going to go ahead and create, let's do a private static final hash map. And this is going to contain a block and an item. We're going to call this blocks. There's new hash map of block and item. And we're going to want to import this, of course, net.minecraft.item java.util.hashmap. So basically the way this is going to work is when we register a block, we're going to put it in this hash map with the item we create. A hash map is basically like an array, but each item is associated with the value. So the block is the key and the item is the value. So the first thing we're going to do, as we did in items, is we're going to register the item. And actually, now that I look at this, I want to put item.set unlocalized name above it. So now we go to block.set unlocalized name. We create it as the name. Then we're going to do the same game registry.register block and new resource location. And you want to import that. And this is going to be the same modinfo.modid and name. Now below this, we're going to want to create a new instance of an item. And this is going to equal underscore items.register item. And in here, this is going to be new item block. And the name, of course, is going to be name. Then we're going to blocks.put. You use put instead of add. And we're going to add our block with the blocks item. And then we return the block. Okay, there we go. So now we're going to actually create our block. I'm going to call this block tutorial. So inside of our common pre-init, block tutorial equals register block, new block, and block underscore tutorial. Now this is actually going to require a material. The material I'm going to use is, why not, cloth. So later on, we'll create custom instances of the block class. We'll extend it so that we can add things such as hardness and all sorts of fun stuff. Okay, so if we go ahead, first we have to add, there is no client side because all the rendering is done in the register render of the item. you don't have to do it for the block. And since we register the item, puts it in this list, so it is done for us, thanks to the helpfulness of the item. So in our common proxy, let's say before items dot common pre-init, we're going to go ahead and initialize our blocks. So let's go ahead and try to launch this. Okay, once again we're in the game and we did not give the item a creative tab, so we're going to have to give ourselves the item. So we go to tutorial mod and we have block tutorial or item tutorial. I'm going to pick block tutorial, and you can see this one can actually be placed unlike the item, but we still have the missing item texture and it's rendering at the size of a block, which is not what we want, and we have to name it once again. So we can go ahead and name it in our en_us_lang file. By the way, this stands for US English, and it's basically the default language, so if you define it, even someone who's playing the game in Chinese is going to have text. You don't have to create a new file for every localization. So blocks start with tile. So this is going to be tile block tutorial dot name equals tutorial block. Okay, now is where the fun part starts. First things first, we need a block states folder. So this is an assets tutorial.block states, and inside of here we're going to put a block state JSON file for our block. So it's block underscore tutorial.json without the ending bracket like CJ did last time, but we'll pretend that never happened. And we're going to have a variance object inside of here. And inside of this, we're just going to give it a normal. And by normal, this basically means by default, without anything special happening. And we're going to give it the model of, we'll do block underscore tutorial, because that's the block we're doing it for. Okay, so that's the block state done. Next, a block models package. We already have an item, so we're going to create block. This is going to once again be a new file, block underscore tutorial.json. Inside of here, we once again define our parent, and this is going to be block / cube underscore all. And textures. This is once again where we define a list of the textures. And make sure you don't forget your comma here if you don't want this to kill you later on. So all of our textures block. Nearly forgot. We're going to want to put tutorial : block / tutorial, or it's block underscore tutorial. Don't mess that up again. So I'm going to open the block state file just to make sure we once again have the resource domain in there, so we don't leave that behind, because that will once again destroy us later on. And finally, we're going to create an item model for this block, because once again it's no longer done for us, which I don't approve of, but it does allow more customization, so I'll allow it. And in here we're just going to have a parent, and we're just going to set this to our tutorial mod block / block underscore tutorial.json. Okay, there we go. That was easy. Now we're going to create our textures package for our blocks, plural. And I'm going to copy item tutorial, paste it in here, rename it, block tutorial, open it up, probably do a few things. Change the fill color to that color because it's ugly. And, oops, background can be green. There we go, save that. F5 on the project to reload. Now, theoretically, if CJ did everything right, it should work, so it won't. Okay, so it didn't work, but I think I can see where the error is. Yes. So in the item model definition, I accidentally added .json to the end, but because that is done for us, we want to make sure we don't do that. Okay, so there actually were not any console errors this launch, which is a good sign. Moment of truth, we give ourselves our tutorial block, and holy crap, it's textured, and we can place it in the world. We throw it, it works. F5, it works. So, thank you guys for watching. Next tutorial, we'll add more information to our block by extending the class, and following that, we might learn NBT for items and blocks. So, thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed the video, go ahead and leave a like, and if you enjoy my content, go ahead and subscribe. Thanks for watching.